supernatural,
My chair is creaking.
metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about? Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. Hey, we're the She Squatchers, and we've come in tonight just to have a live chat with everybody who shows up in the live chat room tonight. So, hey, hello, everybody who's there.
Hello.
Yes. And
Hey. From Victoria, Australia. I love Australia.
Who's
That was
back?
a bad accent. Sorry. Love
Tammy
Australia.
is still not here, but she's here in a minute. She's going to be here in a minute, she says. She had to restart her computer, so
Cute picture. Look at that cute picture she has.
she's coming in fashionably late.
She is. All right.
So we're
So
here
what are
to
we going to do today, Jen?
we're taking questions. We're asking people to put their questions in all caps so we see them and we don't miss them.
Yes.
So yeah,
We are very tired. Please forgive us.
looking forward to Sunday. So we're going to be on the show on Sunday, Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. I think it's on TikTok. If I'm
Yes.
right.
I've
So
never used TikTok, Jen. Have you for an interview?
I'm all brand new on TikTok, so this is going to be interesting. Tammy was still going to teach me how to do like a duet or something on there, and I just still don't know. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I we're gonna try it, I guess. I'm still figuring TikTok out, so
Mm.
I'm new there.
Well, I'd like to make an announcement right now.
All right,
I have been without personal care, no lashes, no hair, no nails. I'm feeling pretty good. I finally got all three done. And today I went blonde. I'm so excited. I haven't been blonde for years, like real blonde.
she
Hope it's
her
okay.
her her blonde roots were growing inside all those hairs.
I used to be a real blonde
Oh, you're so
inside.
funny, Jenna.
The shame. Yeah, I think you may have been right, though.
Right?
Yes.
Let's see. What does Mark have to say? Can you read that, Jenna?
Down here we have the Yowie, the big fella, and the Junjidi. Did I say that wrong? And the little hairy man. Do you have a little Bigfoot also?
We do. The Dakota Indians call it Chahotana, and it's spelled Canotina, but it's pronounced Chahotana. And I know they have different ways that that different dialects of the Sioux language where they pronounce it slightly different. But yeah, they're little people of the woodland trees, and they look like Bigfoot, except they're only 2 or 3 feet tall at their full grown stage. So, and they're said to live in areas near where Bigfoots are, and they're friendly to each other. So that's the stories up here in the North Dakota and South Dakota native areas is the Chahotanas are the little people of the woodland trees. And I've actually seen one in Minnesota, like mid Minnesota. And this was years before we got into looking for Bigfoot. I wasn't even thinking about Bigfoot, but I actually saw one of the Chahotana and didn't even know what it was. So, yeah,
You saw one.
I did.
That's so neat.
So, what happened was I was wanting to grow some morel mushrooms on my land, and I had read that they do really well with elm trees in the if you mix them, plant them at the bottom of if they had just come out with what they call morel mushroom spawn, and I don't know how successful they had been at it. But the instructions were I bought it, and to mix it into the dirt underneath an elm tree would be the best bet. And I had an elk tree on the back of my property, and so I went back there and I started to dig and realized that a farmer had tossed all these rocks out of the field down this hill, and at the base of this tree underneath the dirt was all these rocks. So I kept like hauling the rocks out trying to get to the dirt. And as I got down there and I started to sift through the dirt to mix that mushroom spawn in there, I realized that I've eliminated quite a bit of rock from the base of this tree. And now I'm loosening the soil at the base of this tree. And I thought, I wonder if this maybe isn't good for the tree. Did I destabilize it in somehow? So I stopped, and I'm part Native American, and so I speak to the forest, and I just called out to the forest spirits, and I said, I'm trying to plant mushroom spawn here and bring more life to the forest, but I realized that now that I may be destabilizing this tree, and I don't want to hurt it in any way. So if this is not good, I will stop. So please let me know. And I just waited. Nothing happened. So I just bent over and started to loosen the soil some more to mix the spawn in there. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this little monkey type thing like lean down out of the tree and growled in my ear. And I didn't look directly at it, but I saw it through my peripheral vision. And I just thought, okay, that's a nature spirit telling me, answering my question. So I stopped, and that was where I stopped. And let's, Tammy's here. Here's Tammy.
Hey,
Yay!
everybody.
The party started.
Here's Tammy. Hi, Paul.
Hi,
Here
Paul.
I am. Go ahead with your true story.
Oh, I just finished right as I think.
You were
Well,
telling the true story.
it wasn't until years later that a native was telling me that if I wanted to find Bigfoot, um, I should go to Sika Hollow State Park in South Dakota, because they would be there next to the Chahotnas, that they live together down there. And then he described the Chahotnas as the little people within trees, and they look just like Bigfoots, except they're only 2 or 3 feet tall, and they are absolutely not baby Bigfoots. They are full grown little people. So I'm having trouble reading it, you guys. So if I
Oh,
put
good
it up,
evening, She Squatters. Chat crew.
so I don't have my glasses on, so I'm having trouble reading it. Is
Hi.
that Squatch America? Is that
Yeah.
Squatch America? Yay! Hi guys. Is it
Yay.
Scott and Hannah?
Oh, hello, my dears. I'm sorry. I forgot. I love you guys.
Hi
And I can't
guys.
wait. You guys, Scott and Hannah sent me this fabulous bug spray, and I cannot wait until we can try it out. They're actually selling it. So I said I wanted to try it out so we can try it out, see how great it is. I've got it here with me. So just
Uh
saying.
huh.
I've been waiting for the mosquitoes.
What is the difference between Bigfoot and the Yeti? You guys aren't. Where did Tammy go?
I don't know. I can read them. I just
Yeah, I'm having trouble reading the fine print because
okay.
I've got it on the small screen because I have to use all the little.
Okay. Well,
little
what is it? What is the difference between Bigfoot and the Yeti?
One is American and the other one is Asian. All right. There's. Oh, Tammy beeped and then she was. Oh, there she is.
I
There's
don't know what's
Tammy.
going on with this stupid computer today.
Well,
Thank it.
hi. Tammy, did you get more blonde highlights too? Tammy?
I got highlights and lowlights. Aren't they cute? And I got
Yeah.
these cute little fringe bangs.
Aw.
It's
Hi,
Scott.
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
I should run and go get that bug spray. I'm gonna. Do you guys? I'm gonna. Okay, fine. Then I won't.
Why do you need bug spray?
Scott and Hannah made this bug spray and they sent it to me and wanted to see how it works, but I haven't had any mosquitoes around enough to use it. So yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm
We'll try it
waiting.
in the woods. We'll do a live review.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
I say yes.
I like that.
I say yes.
So, ladies, we're
Yes.
looking, and everybody in the chat room, we're looking for your questions. Can you please
Yes.
post them up?
Yeah, we haven't been on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Like a
So
month. Sorry, we've been busy with life.
I had a tooth infection. I fractured a tooth and got it infected, and I was down for the count for a week. It was awful, but here I am, one
Yep.
tooth short.
Tooth pain is no joke.
And although we
Me too.
discussed
Luckily,
coming
yours is in the back.
as we discussed coming on, Tammy's like, "But is your face swollen, Jen?" And I sent her a picture. She goes, "Yeah, it's swollen. We shouldn't do a show."
She just didn't want to do the show. Actually, I didn't either.
Hey, no, I would expect you to tell me the same thing.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah, but we
course.
all
I
have to make our own
always have your
decision.
best interest at heart.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
I always have your best interest at heart.
And that's why we love you, Tammy.
So Mark's asking a question.
How often do you head out each year for research?
How often is a good question. We try to get out in the spring because I live where it's winter and they don't anymore. But we try to get out in the spring. Actually, we were
Three
just out.
times here this year.
Oh,
Huh?
that's rotten.
We went to Texas and
It
saw
snowed
Jena.
3 times here.
Oh, it snowed there. Okay.
No, we go out on expeditions and we go out to different events too. And sometimes when we're at the events, then we go out at that time too. We get to go see people's hot spots. So I don't know about how many times we go out a year, but maybe
So,
10 or
well,
more,
we
like week long, 2 weeks,
Yes, I do know
3 weeks.
where Glenwood Elementary School
well,
is.
hang on. Hang on. We're still on this one. So, the answer to the question is we generally go out with Jason, the filmmaker, a couple of times a year for about 2 weeks each time. So that's usually we do 2 weeks in the spring or early summer, and then 2 weeks later in the summer or fall. So we're out for sure in it actively for at least a month a year, and then we have our other ones in. There's a property in Minnesota that I like to frequent quite often, and somebody just asked me the other day when I was going to be heading out there, and I'm like, I don't know, I need to get out there, but it's not time yet for that. So I hope that answers your question. What does this one say?
Does Tammy know where Glenwood Elementary School is in Virginia Beach? My family lived one street away from in the 1960s.
Yes, I do. It's not too far off of Independence Boulevard, and yeah, it's not too far from me. I know where it is.
Awesome.
Yay. Do you have a preferred method when researching, and what method has proved the most successful? Ooh.
We like to remote view locations before we go there, and it's a psychic ability. And we're looking at Google Maps or Google satellite imagery at locations and asking questions, looking to see if there are areas where Bigfoot is currently at or has been and left evidence behind that we could find. And so we often get like heads up from people who have had an experience or a hotspot. And then if they give us the location, we can look into that area and narrow that down. We typically like to find places that we're seeing positives in the remote view that are close to roadways so that we can get there, get out of the car, and quickly go in there to the location. And when we're doing a remote view, one of us will do the first look see at it, and if we start seeing something, we'll drop a GPS pin next to what we're seeing, and we send it to the rest of the team, who then look at it and come back with what they're seeing there. And for one example is we were going to go out to this place in Minnesota in the wintertime. So I was remote viewing different forests and different areas that we were going to be looking at. And I started to see a Bigfoot with a mountain lion, like as a pet, like they were together. And I thought, well, that's so weird. So I dropped a GPS coordinate on it, sent it to Tammy because Tammy was going with me, and Jena wasn't. I think you were in Texas, Jena.
I don't take my phone very many places, but
So it was just Tammy and I that were going to go at that moment. But so I sent it to Tammy, and she came back and said, "I'm seeing a Bigfoot with a mountain lion there," and I'm like, "That's what I saw." So that would be a confirmed hit then on the geographic remote view when we are both seeing the same things in that location. So so then we would say that that's a positive. We should go there if we can. However, in that particular instance, we did not go into that forest because this girl doesn't like to play with mountain lions. Just saying. I don't
none
think
of us do. Are we all super tired? So sorry.
I am, and I again I can't see what it says. Can somebody read that?
Oh, Tammy, you got this one?
And my computer's lagging.
Oh, okay, I'll read
I
it.
can.
What? Okay.
It says, "What do you think of people that do the knocks and Bigfoot calls? Do you think the Bigfoot likes people doing that or not?"
I tell you that I do not knock on trees. I won't hit a tree. You can't pay me to do it. I think there's plenty of other successful ways to get Bigfoot to come in and get a little closer. Do I think that they knock on trees? They're making some kind of a sound. How they make it, I don't know. But I mean, we have walked into a forest where we remote viewed in Ohio, where we remote viewed, and they were on this side of us, and then they were over on this side of us, and we were walking in between them as we entered the forest at night, and we heard knock, knock, whoop, whoop from all around us. So I think it's definitely a form of communication that they use. And if we start knocking on trees to make a similar sound to what we think is happening, we don't know what we're saying to them. I think it's like, hey, somebody's here, and they already know that we're there. I just don't think it's an effective way to communicate with them. What do you girls think?
I just think it's getting old. We need something new. We're obviously it's not as effective as we'd like it to be, and I think that maybe we need to start doing something else. What do you think, Tammy?
Well, like I don't like when people do the recordings of the Bigfoot calls and blast that out into the forest because you don't know what those Bigfoot were saying and you don't know what you're putting out there to them and they're hearing this. What if it's like some aggressive male who's trying to start crap and then they're going to come in rushing at you and because you are the one who played that. So I don't like to
Yeah.
do any of that stuff. I think that
Yeah.
Bigfoot is a much more intelligent being than that. And I think that they are above primitive ways of communicating. And that stuff is just as a notice to, hey, somebody's here. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I don't like sound blasting either. I just even other animals. I feel like it could attract too many other things.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Sasquatch like that? They're pretty private beings. If they want to say, hey, they will. I agree.
I agree. Jena?
Tammy, you want to take this one, or should I just keep reading them? When do you discover you could remote view locations, and did it scare you?
I think I've been remote viewing for as long as I've been fascinated with maps because before there were maps, I had an atlas addiction, and my former husband used to give me atlases as a gift, and I would be like, "Oh, a new atlas!" And somebody would talk about a location, and I would have to obsessively compelled. I'd have to go look it up on the map, and I would just stare at it. And through that staring, I gained some information of wondering about a place. So when I started looking at Google Earth, when that came out, I was obsessed. Like seriously obsessed. Like I would spend hours and hours and hours in front of the computer looking at things from satellite imagery. And I realized when I did that and I was wondering about places that there would sometimes be a little movie that would, like a hologram movie of some type that would come up over the screen and show me information about that location. And that's how I discovered that I could do this. What we call it geographic remote viewing because we're doing it with satellite imagery on a specific location, which is different from what most people are calling remote viewing, which is they're doing completely with the mind without looking at specific locations. So this is specifically a geographically located remote viewing, which is different than controlled remote viewing. So I hope that answers your question. It didn't scare me, it only intrigued me. What about you, ladies?
Go ahead, Tammy. Oh,
I
well then I
mean,
will. Oh,
nothing about it scares me. Not much actually scares me, period. But no, it doesn't scare me. I think it's interesting. I love it when I see things, and sometimes when I'm looking for Bigfoot, I'll see one waving at me on the maps, and I think that's really cool. So if they're friendly or if they're not, it's fun. I like it.
I didn't even really knew that kind of thing existed until Jen brought it up, and it was like, oh wow. And then once we started to do it, it was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like I was surprised. I was shocked. Did you know about this before, Tammy? I mean, did you know how to remote view before we started doing this for when we're researching?
I have done similar things, but not that. I've been able to. I guess we all have our own way of doing things. I've been able to look at an area, like I can stand outside of a house per se, and I can see myself walk in, walk up the stairs, how many rooms it is, and everything, and then I can go into the house and be right. So I mean, I think that we all have our perceptions already there anyway. So this was just a new way of perceiving.
True. That's
That's a good
awesome.
explanation. I like that.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Hello.
Octopus with no friends. I love octopus. Octopi?
Thank you,
I
Jenna.
think it's octopi.
I don't know how. I'll just be quiet because I have no clue.
Now I want to know the answer to that question. What is the plural?
Right. Okay. Are
I think
you
it's
looking it up already?
No, I'm not.
Another great show. Oh, you're so
I can
sweet.
look it up.
Thank you, Christina. Ask for the information and you shall receive. Just got to be open to it. Agreed.
Both
Awesome.
octopuses and octopi are correct.
Ooh, I don't know
There you
where we'll
go.
ever use that again, but
I will use
I
that.
will because I'm a diver.
yes, you will. And you know what? You like seafood, and
And I've
uh,
had octopus. Oops. Not
And I thought it was
that one.
I don't get it. What?
Hi, octopus with no
Well,
friends.
you'll have to tell me later. You're bright red.
okay. I gotta say, I'm just now that we're on the topic of octopus or octopi. Thank you, Jenna.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So Jenna and I were talking on the phone, like what was it, like yesterday morning, about this hair thing that looks like an octopus that you roll your hair in. And then she messages me today and she said, "You've just received a delivery at your house. You're welcome."
I did. It's the coolest little hair thing. And Jen was talking about it. She goes, I wish I want it. And I was like, well, okay, then you shall have it.
Well,
Ding.
and somebody had sent me the link to it and I refused to open the link because I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm not. I'm not going to buy another thing. And Jenna opened the link. She's like, well, it's only this much money. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Talking myself into it's
So
only this much.
to make it okay, I bought it for you. So
Thank you,
you didn't
Jenna.
have to fight with yourself.
Thank you,
You're
Jenna.
welcome. I got your back.
Yes. What does Mark have to say here?
I'm new to your channel and was wondering how y'all came together to form the She Squatchers.
That's a great question.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mike. So We were all kind of in the paranormal world before this, and we're all psychic mediums, and so of course we were gravitating towards all things paranormal. But these two ladies are my best friends, and they did not know each other until She Squatchers. I had a paranormal radio show, and I ended up at the local paranormal convention that used to happen in Minnesota. It was quite a large event, and Lauren Coleman, the cryptozoologist who has the International Cryptozoology Museum in the state of Maine, was there and presenting at our Paracon. And I asked him for an interview for my radio show, and he said yes. And so I sat down with him in person for about an hour, and he told me all about Bigfoot in my home state of Minnesota and assured me that they were there. And I grew up in the woods. I grew up walking in the woods with my mom and with myself all through growing up. And I was like, I've never seen anything or thought that there was anything like that before. And I had never really thought about Bigfoot even as a I mean, it never crossed my mind ever. Like, not even, is Bigfoot real? I didn't even think about Bigfoot. It wasn't a question in my mind ever. So I was just fascinated by all the things that he was telling me. And he guaranteed me that there was Bigfoot out there. And he dared me to find some women and take them out into the woods without men, dogs, or guns, because he felt that that would be the recipe for success in finding and interacting with the Bigfoots. He felt that the Bigfoot that are seen, that humans see and spot, are closer to like roadways and whatnot. He thought they were the younger male Bigfoots who were probably out there doing the things they weren't supposed to be doing and therefore getting caught being seen. And he thought these were a little bit more reckless Bigfoots
You know?
that would be a little bit more inclined to come closer and look at something interesting out there, like some ladies who were out there without anything threatening, like men, dogs, or guns. So he thought this would be the recipe for success in interacting and getting closer to Bigfoot, was to make them curious to come in and have a look at us. So that was his whole idea. He really wanted some ladies to do it. And by the end of the show, I said, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to find some ladies and we're going to try it out. We're going to do it. The first ladies that I took out were actually paranormal investigators that were at the Paracon. And they had, the reason I selected them is because A, they were there, and B, they had the night vision cameras that I thought could see in the dark that we probably would need to go Bigfooting, right? So we go out into the forest with all these night vision cameras that they use for their paranormal investigating in haunted houses, and we quickly discovered that their cameras do not light up the forest at all. It was a huge fail. And when we actually did have an encounter, they were scared. And they said, this is way scarier than crucifixes flying off the wall at us. Bigfoot's way scarier. And most of them jumped in the car and didn't want to get out again. So, yeah. I went home and told Jena what I did. She was mad at me.
I was so mad at her. She didn't even tell me about it. I told her, why did you tell me I want in? I want to do it. Dang. But
Yes, and I had wished that she'd been there, but to be honest, I was so embarrassed that I was going to look for Bigfoot because I didn't believe in Bigfoot, to be perfectly honest. I thought it was ridiculous that I was going to go out and do it. Um, and so I thought everybody would think I was just being silly. And then I went out and had an experience. I had an encounter, and I was so freaking hooked that I'm excited, but I was still scared to tell even my friends what I had done because I thought they would think I was silly, which is a silly thought in itself, really. That I would even be afraid of that. So
mhm.
yeah. Do you have, and then so then I invited Jena and Tammy to join us. Tammy didn't wasn't able to join us right away. There was things going on in her life that just weren't lining up in that moment, but she joined us as quickly as she could, and we became the perfect trifecta. Ta-da!
Ding.
Ding. Well, there's Tim. Hi, Tim. We met Tim, Jena. We met him at the Minnesota Bigfoot Conference.
Oh, hi.
Yes. Tammy. So, Tim, this is Tammy. Let's see.
Oh, maybe
Hello.
we do have friends. No, you're wrong. No, you're still right. I mean, I'm kidding. We're your friends.
Oh, I'm having trouble seeing it.
Awesome job, women. Love Glenn
That's my
from
friend Glenn.
Massachusetts. Okay, I was gonna say, what did we do? That was awesome.
I went to high school with him.
Ah, that's
With
awesome.
Glenn?
Okay.
Oh, with Glenn. Okay.
I went to a marine bio school in Maine.
Very nice.
Nice. Wouldn't
Nice.
that be amazing? What lives in the water? Good evening, panel and chat. Hello.
Dwarf. Let's see. Any other questions? Not seeing questions. Give us some questions, y'all.
We might even make this short.
Yeah,
5.
we're already a
Oh,
half hour in.
sure.
That's gone by so quickly already.
It really has.
Yeah, it has. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm going to jump off my computer and get on my phone because this keeps lagging.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll see you in a
See you
minute.
in a second.
Yay.
This is such a
I'll be back.
comfortable, relaxed. See you soon.
Okay.
It's nice to have a comfortable, relaxed little
For sure.
live.
What's
What
this?
is the most surprising things you guys have discovered? Like, do you believe in fairies yet or not quite yet?
I believed in fairies before I believed in Bigfoot. How about
I
you?
didn't. No, I didn't believe in Bigfoot. The only thing I really knew about was a chupacabra, and that was just because I lived in Texas for a while and I was told by friends. But I didn't really think any of this was real. That's why I'm amazed at the things we've seen because it just opens the eyes and says just because you're looking for Bigfoot isn't it's not the only thing you're going to find. I mean, we found some pretty amazing things out there.
We have. We have definitely. We've had so many experiences of different types of things that from water spirits to UFOs to just random strange lights that have no explanation.
Orbs. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Um, Fairies, gnomes, the Chahotanas, which are the little people of the woodland trees, the Memeageshig, which are the little people. There's different types of little people in native cultures, but literally there's different kinds that look different and do different things.
Which were the ones that I saw in the forest? They were like little white lines. And I asked Vicky what they were because I was like, I keep seeing these little lines everywhere. What were these called? Forest?
Those ones were where we were at. Those were the river people. That's what my elder called the river people. They were little.
Oh,
They're
she
called
said she said they were. Is that she said they were forest something?
forest spirits. Yeah,
Oh, well,
forest
that
spirits.
wasn't as exciting as I thought. Forest spirits.
They
You
move
mean the
so
wisps? The
they
will o
move.
wisps?
No, they move so fast that they just look like little sparks of light, little
Yeah,
lines of light.
it's
They
just
just move so
crazy.
fast.
They were going all over in there. It was so neat. That was my first time experiencing those. So pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay. So Tammy, the question was about you know, most surprising things that we've discovered. Do we believe in fairies yet?
That we've discovered together or just in our lives?
In our life, well, I think in our lives, I think.
Okay. Um, exciting, surprising. Yes, I believe in fairies. I've seen them. I've got pictures of their lights before. Bigfoot I've seen. Darker entities I've seen. I actually have been brought out to people's homes to banish negative entities and close portals before. So not much really surprises me. I'm always excited when I come across something I've never seen before because it's a new discovery and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, you're scary, or, oh, you're cool. What are you? Tell me about yourself. Everybody's like, run away. And I'm like, wait, I have questions.
Oh no, you are
We
too.
wouldn't
It's
run
so
away,
awesome.
but other people run away.
Hmm.
I'm on my phone, so I can't look at my phone.
Oh, okay. Jena, you look at your phone.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw it on the computer. I just went like this.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next question is
How many times have you researched in Michigan's
UP.
upper UP? Remember I called it up before? Now I,
Yeah.
I got so worried I was going to call it up again.
I was worried.
Me too. Couldn't even say it right. Around the Scenic National Wildlife Refuge, maybe. We, have we been down there?
Well, the first time that
The
we were up,
Ubers?
the Upers, yeah, the first time we were in the UP, we were up by Paradise.
Yep.
So I'm not sure about what the National Wildlife Refuge was called up there, but we were by Paradise, and we were with a group, and so it was all very hush hush. They wouldn't tell us where we were going until we got there. Um, and so I was just like, come on, guys, I want to remote view it. And they just would not give us location. So we went in pretty blind at first. So yeah. Um, I'm not sure. Like we were in Irons, Michigan last year. I don't think that's considered UP. Um, I don't think so. So yeah. Anyway,
Did one time.
that makes sense. One time. Okay.
Thoughts on Dogman?
Whoa, that's a good one. I'll let you girls go.
Jamie?
Well, first of all, there was actually a sighting last year, I think it was, of a dog man running across the street and jumping over a 12-foot high fence onto a military installation. So, what do I think about Dogman? I think that all of the legends are true. That's what I think. I think that, okay. I think that there's a reason that these stories come into existence. And while some people might think it's imagination, I think that it is actually something that somebody saw, and the story might have been expanded on or exaggerated, but the base of the stories are true. And that's why, I'm not just into we're not just into Bigfoot or Dogman. We want to see all of the things, all of the cryptids, the aliens, the ghosts, the entities. We want to see all of it. And, I know some people think that, oh, Dogman's aggressive and scary. Well, they say the same thing about Bigfoot, and Bigfoot's not aggressive to us. So I think it's all about your approach.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Jena?
I agree. You just said everything. Fabulous.
No.
I do think it has a lot to do with the approach and how you walk into it and what you're bringing into the situation, how you treat, the whole everything, how
The
you treat the
encounter.
world. Exactly.
Yep. If
Oh,
you walk in
can't hear you,
aggressively
Jen.
expecting trouble, then you're going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I fully agree. You guys did a great job on that one.
Thanks.
All right.
Still waiting for more for Bigfoot songs, right? We have a couple written. We're working
I
on
wrote
more.
one like that. I used AI. It's on my YouTube page, and I think I have shared it on my Facebook page. But yeah, us being like in the studio and recording, yes, we have not done that again.
Yeah, we need to do that. We have a couple of songs that are already written, but they have to be put together with the music, the band. We got to figure out all of that stuff yet. I think it's great that we do work with a band and that we are doing this the real way, the down to earth, nitty gritty way, because that's the way real music comes out,
Yes.
Even though AI is so much easier and it's so cool, and all you got to do is type a few words and it makes you a superstar.
Oh, song. Yeah. You can actually write a whole book. You can have AI write you a whole book and you can publish it. It's crazy how fast everything is changing in this world.
Wow. But it takes all of our work. It takes everything that we should be doing on our own away.
It does. And I think I saw today on Facebook that Lyle Blackburn's AI took his book to use it as reference in answering questions about Bigfoot and other cryptids and stuff. They like hijacked his work to use it as a reference, and they quote his stuff, obviously, probably without giving him credit for it, because they're using it, the computer is using it for information.
So I suppose it's public. If it's a book, it's public knowledge. So that
It is public.
I wonder
And
how
if you're
he
not
feels
using it
about
in a
that.
written source, then you can still quote it. So
That stinks. I didn't know they could do that. Jen, I suppose you have recounted your encounter many times, but would you be willing to share again or tell me where I may find it?
All right. So real quick, when we went out for the very first time, we went to a location, which was in Minnesota by a town called Bena, and the lake was called 6 Mile Lake, and it was on the reservation. And it's a long, skinny lake with just dense forest on one side, and then there's cabins and docks and stuff on the other side. And there's a road that goes around it called Reservation Highway 20, and that's a very deceiving name because it's literally just a gravel road that one car can fit on at a time. So, and it goes through that dense forest on the side where there's no homes or people. Anyway, so there had been a recent sighting there where a native man had been out fishing in his canoe, and he had been out there, and it started to get dark, so he started to go for the shore where he had left his truck. And as he was coming to the shore, closer to the shore, a Bigfoot walked out into the shallows and was aggressively motioning towards him in the shallows. And so he didn't come any closer. He stayed out in the deeper parts. And he went up and down the shoreline, and this Bigfoot was like walking along the shore with him in the water up to his knees. And I think that the Bigfoot wanted his fish. I think he wanted him to give him his fish. But the guy didn't come in. He just stayed out there. And his phone had died, so it was dead. He couldn't call for help. But what happened was his family realized it was well past dark. It had been 2 hours, and this Bigfoot was still like aggressive towards him, and so he wouldn't come in. So somebody had gone out there to see if he was okay. And when they pulled up and the light shone out there, it scared the Bigfoot away. And the guy paid attention to where it retreated into the forest at. And so the next day they went out there and they found the footprints. And so we were there, I don't know, just a few weeks after that happened, I think. And so we didn't know where it happened. We only knew that there was, it was supposed to be by a public boat launch. And the only public boat launch that was listed on this lake was on the side where all the cabins and lake cabins were. And I looked at that and I thought, if I was a Bigfoot, that's not where I'd be hanging out. I'd be on the side where there's no people and there's all these trees. And so we drove around, and, being a psychic, I thought I could bring in my psychic ability, and also that I'm a Reiki master. So I feel energy on a physical level as a literally physical sensation in my body. And so I thought using that, asking to feel the energy of Bigfoots when they're nearby, as well as, just trying to be super aware, maybe we could find something. So we were driving around on this little road in the daytime, and I'm stopping wherever I think that there might be an area of interest. And we got out on the side of the lake where there are no homes, and there was this area that just felt different to me. The energy of it was different than anything that I have felt before. And so I'm looking around, and I didn't see anything that led me to believe that there was Bigfoot there at all, other than this energy feeling that was there. And so I just put a GPS marker on it, and we decided to come back there after dark. And so when we did that, we went back there. It was so dark you couldn't see anything at all, like nothing. And we just parked the car on the road because there's nowhere to pull it off anyway. And we get out of the car, and I had my equipment in my hands, and I was ready to go. Everybody else had their equipment in the back of the truck. So, and there was 5 of us that night, and one of the girls had borrowed a thermal camera from somebody, and they didn't even really know how to use it. It was one of those cheaper ones where you pull a trigger and it takes a picture. So she handed it to me, and I was really excited to get to play with a thermal camera. I'd never held one before, and so I immediately started scanning the woods next to the car, to see, hoping to see anything, a big bunny, a deer, a fox, anything. I wanted to see something on there, and so I'm looking, and not seeing any energy, thermal coming up on there. And I get out and I point out in front of the car, and I see what looks like the thermal imagery of a person standing there. And I said, "Oh, who's out in front of the car?" Because it is so dark, one of the girls could have walked out there, and I assumed it was one of them. And nobody said anything. I said, "Who's out in front of the car?" Nobody said anything. "Who's out in front of the car?" And I kept asking that question. And Marlo realized that there was anxiety in my voice. So she comes running up and she looks at the screen that I'm looking at. And she sees the thing that I'm seeing on the screen. And she looked at it directly with her bare eyes. And she went, "Oh, I just saw eyes." And I'm like, "You did?" And I dropped the camera down and I looked to see if I can see eyes, which I didn't. And then when I lifted the camera back up, it had stepped into the trees and was gone. So we decided, let's go over there where we saw it, because it wasn't any of the girls. Now, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit and tell you that this was the first time I had gotten to play with a FLIR or a thermal imaging camera. And I didn't realize that when you point it at someone who's wearing clothing, their clothing changes the temperature that the camera is picking up. So you can literally kind of see the clothing versus their skin versus their hair. And so I didn't notice this until a long time later when Jena bought a thermal camera that I got to play with hers. And I noticed that when you look at a person, it looks way different because they have clothing on. What I saw on that camera that night was not wearing clothing. And I immediately called up Marlo and I said, "Hey, Marlo, remember what you saw on the screen that night on the thermal camera?" I said, did it have clothing on? And she's like, "You know what? It didn't. It didn't." And so that was pretty cool. So back to that night again. So we decided we walk into the forest in where we saw that had been standing right outside of the tree line. We decided to walk in there. And so a few of us walked over there and we started walking into the trees. And just then we heard something coming through the branches, and something fell on the ground like 3 feet in front of me and bounced. And I looked at it and I was like, "Is that a rock?" And then another you could hear coming through the branches, another one bounced right next to it. And Marlo says, "I think that is a rock." And and here comes another one. And they're not coming within 3 feet of us, right in front of us. Very good aim for not trying to hit us. And I was just like, what in the world is throwing rocks at us? I mean, I grew up in Minnesota in the woods. Nothing has ever thrown rocks at me before. Definitely deer don't do that. Bear don't do that. I had no idea that Bigfoot were known for doing that. I didn't know. This was my first time. So I was just like, what's happening? And I just opened my awareness and I just felt like it didn't want us to walk this way. So I said, I think maybe we should back to the road. So we went back up to the road and we're standing there going, what do we do now? And this was on the left side of the road. And so one of the girls said, let's do a Bigfoot call like they do on TV. I said, yeah, go ahead and do that. So she lets out a big whoop. I'm not going to do one here, but it was a big whoop. And we just stood there waiting with our cameras, waiting to hear a response. Like maybe something will whoop back at us. And instead of that, nothing whooped back. But instead, on the right side of the road, we heard footsteps coming of something very large and bipedal, walking on 2 legs. And there was sticks and big sticks cracking under its feet. You could hear every stomp. And something was coming, and everybody pointed their cameras out of their night vision cameras, that I was so excited to have out there. And that's when we realized we can't see very far into the woods with this crap. And they work really good in haunted houses. They sure didn't work good out in the woods, that's for sure. And so then it was like somebody snapped their fingers, and that sound of this one creature walking towards us multiplied, and now there are multiple creatures coming at us from different directions, and we all were just like in a panic. And we kind of circled up back to back facing out, which I thought was a pretty good thing to do. We hadn't really talked about what to do if we were in trouble. We just did that on instinct. And everybody's like trying to see with their little night vision camera that doesn't do any good. And we couldn't see, and everybody's like, can you see it? Can you see it? And none of us could see it. And one of the girls, said, Jen, do your tobacco thing. And what she meant was, I'm part Native American, and we were on an Ojibwe reservation. So I took the tobacco out into my left hand, and I started to pray in the Ojibwe language and through the Great Spirit. And I said, I did a very formal protocol greeting. I introduced myself, and I used every one of the spirit names I was given in ceremony, in my clan and where I come from and who named me, and started doing all of that. And then I said, Miigwech, Megweshik, which was thank you to the nature spirits, and Miigwech, Gitchisabe, which was thank you to Bigfoot. And as soon as I said the thank you to Bigfoot in the Ojibwe language, all of the sound stopped. It's just everything went silent. There was nothing else moving towards us. It just went silent. And it didn't retreat. It just stopped. And I was like, yes! I was so excited about it, because when I had talked to the elders at the reservation in North Dakota, because I talked to various elders asking questions about the Bigfoot before we went out, and I was told that you can pray through the Great Spirit and ask Bigfoot for help, and that they will help you. And so when I thanked Bigfoot, all of that stopped. And to me, that was confirmation of what they had said. So I was very, very excited. The other girls had no idea what had just happened. They didn't know what I was saying. They didn't speak what the language to know that it stopped as soon as I said thank you to Bigfoot. And they just was like, let's go, let's get in the car. And so we got in the car and we drove away.
That is a great story. What a great adventure that was.
So yeah, we were out there, big tough girls looking for Bigfoot, and then Bigfoot found us. And yeah, it didn't work out with them very well. I mean, some of them were more courageous than others, but just wouldn't work out to be with us. But Jena, I found, was very, very fearless. And Tammy came along, and she was also pretty fearless. And then they started competing for who was more fearless than the other one. And I'll let them have it, because for sure there are times that they're doing stuff that I'm like, no.
But we have fun.
We do have fun. You know what? You took the words right out of my mouth, Tammy. We do have fun. Adventure
Absolutely
is fun.
have a good time. Absolutely. It is a good time. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And we've had many more encounters since then as individuals and as groups. So, I mean, that's just the first one that I had that got me hooked. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see.
It's already 9:53. Holy bully.
Wow, that
I've seen shadow people, the Hat Man, ghosts, pugwudgies, glowing trees. I want to meet Sasquatch.
I've never seen a glowing tree. Where?
I haven't seen a glowing tree either.
I've seen all the other stuff. Tell me about the glowing tree.
Really small.
Wow.
What's good, She Squatters? I always love your intros when you gals are jamming into the music. Rah! Nice.
Yes. Gwendolyn's here.
Hey.
Hi, Gwendolyn.
Yeah. We love
Aw,
Gwendolyn.
you're sweet, Gwendolyn.
So
Gwendolyn
is with us sometimes in the Searching for Sasquatch crew when we're filming documentaries. So if you've seen any of our documentaries that feature Gwendolyn, that's her. Hello.
Yes. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. And we're almost done. But that's okay. You only have to listen to 6 more minutes.
How much hair product does Jason Kenzie go through per episode? Actually, I've never seen him use hair product. He has amazing hair naturally.
He does.
Does he even use lotion on his face? He doesn't have to do anything.
When we make him, he does.
Oh.
I gotta tell you that Jason is a really good sport. When he's traveling with us 3 girls, he just gets right girly with us. And when I say that, I mean, we'll do teeth whitening strips on the car as we're going somewhere, and he's got them on there too. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take one." And then when we were in, where were we? Where were we?
Is it Indiana?
Pennsylvania, I think. When I had that eye stuff underneath the eye stuff, and I put it on Jason, and
Oh yeah.
I think I did one side first, and then he looked in the mirror and went, "To the other side."
It works.
He's so fun. He's such a good sport.
Yeah.
He is. He's always willing to do something that somebody else wouldn't do. Jason, you do it. Okay. Hold the camera.
Hold my beer. Oh wait, he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Hold my camera.
Oh, I can't believe it. Vic Cundiff from Dogman Encounters Radio has said out of the thousands of encounters he's heard and investigated, he only knows 5 or 6 encounters with Dogman that someone was attacked.
I believe that.
Thermals are fun. That should say She Squatchers above stupid autocorrect put
That's
squatters.
okay. We think it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Other than PG films, do you gals have a favorite Bigfoot video you believe legit? My fave is a Russian footage of the Sasquatch jumping at the end of the huge shoulders with huge shoulders. I haven't seen that one.
I don't know that I've seen that one either. I would love to see the link for that. But
Right?
I love the Patterson Gimlin film. I absolutely believe and know that it's authentic. Bob is the OG for sure.
And ours is legitimate.
Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Trevor.
Hi, Trevor.
Good to have you here.
Okay, I'll look later.
Let's see.
Good evening. Maybe we should. Yeah, I love it. The boy is a man now and interviewed by Russians News and stands by the video. He said his dad called friends and that they went out with guns looking for it to get more video.
Because guns shoot video. Oh yeah, I saw it, Dwarf. I run that, so I'll respond to you after the show.
Excellent. Massachusetts, they seem to be in swamps. It's like a phosphorescent ghostly blue. Supposedly there's a whole grove of them in the I want to go Hockomock Swamp.
Well, let's go to Massachusetts. I know people there.
I used to be there.
People.
I like
I will
that.
have to look that up.
Yeah, let's write that down because that's
Here's
helpful.
me looking for my phone so I can look it up, forgetting that I'm on my phone.
You're being videoed.
Is this channel reserved for She Yeti? No. She Yeti. That's going to be the next group. The She Yetis. Okay.
All right.
Oh boy, now you're asking about a film that by a name, and I'm not sure of films by name. So
Yeah, I couldn't even answer that.
I can't answer that.
And also, we don't usually comment on whether or not we think that things are authentic, other than the Patterson Gimlin film, just because we weren't there, and who are we to say whether or not something happened or not? So,
as well as everyone out there is as smart as they are, and they can figure it out for themselves.
absolutely.
In the Bigfoot community, there is a lot of mean talk. And you know what? We aren't mean girls. So we just don't participate because y'all are smart enough to make up your own minds of what's fake and what's not fake.
I'm a little mean, but I'm not mean about this stuff.
True.
It'll take a few minutes to talk to you.
I'm not mean, I'm honest.
Yes.
Search Almasty Russia.
Okay, 2015. All right, I will do that.
All right. Ah, look at that.
You've just suggested your channel. Oh,
I love that. Thank you, YouTube.
Oh, look, he's got a little gnome.
I know, I love that.
I like your gnome, Andy.
It's got a cute little gnome.
It seems that sometimes these creatures live off fear. Why? A lot of energy. My My
I
personal
don't know, but
opinion.
I don't think Bigfoot lives off of fear.
No, I think that's paranormal, darker entities.
Yeah, like Dogman, maybe. I don't know. We haven't encountered really a Dogman, which I was kind of happy for.
I think
So far.
skinwalkers might feed off of fear.
I think people feed off of fear. Human beings feed off of other people's fear. There's so
That's
much
true.
that feeds off of our fear. We're doing an investigation in New Hampshire this summer. You should join me.
You should invite us.
Oh,
That's Scott Hannah.
yes.
Yay.
Thank you. I
We have to-
remember
we have
now
to get
that
our dates meshed because we have some other things that we have to do this year. So
2025 is going to be amazing.
Do we
I love
want
New Hampshire too. I know people there. I lived in New England for like 13 years, so I know a lot of people there.
Mhm.
Nice.
Thank you, Mark, for coming and asking questions and finding us. We are very happy to have you here. Yes,
Yeah,
please
thank
do
you.
sub and click the little bell thingy so
The
that you're
bell
notified
thingy.
when we're
Absolutely.
the bell thingy. I'm so technical.
Well, Andy said that too. Bell thingy.
Yes.
Oh, that is, but that's what it is. I mean, I think it's the notification.
Yeah, click the little notification bell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello from North Carolina. Where's your North Carolina?
Andy, I look just
I
like
look just like my avatar.
That would be so fun. Wouldn't it be fun to hang out with a guy that looked like that? I mean,
I was married to a guy who looked like that.
Oh. Oh no.
It's true.
I don't know what to say.
He wasn't short though. He was tall.
Well, ladies, I just gotta say,
time for bye-byes. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks for having us.
We love you. Thank you so much
Please
for
like
coming.
and subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and tell your friends, share it around. Come back and see us next time. If you have any other questions, write them down and be ready for the next time. We love that. There's so many things we could talk about.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Good night, everyone.
Night. I'm a glowing tree.
You're a glowing tree.
Glowing tree.
This music makes me want to